So very good evening, everyone. This is week 2 and a continuation of last day 1. And we are going to get started with code of honor and listen and see that what all are the very crucial topic. Like we have been seeing that everywhere the importance of values and principles are there. Likewise, for the class also, we have values and principles. The very first one is talking about showing up live, and that is being on time and being punctual and highly committed is the trait or the traits that one need to practice it. Why? Because how you do anything is how you do everything, and once you practice it here, the same thing you can reflect, and same thing you can recreate once you get placed. Second one is being full stack student, because you are starting with the first pillar of Guru School, that is instructor led free training live. And here you are encouraged to become a full stack student, because learning is for a student. The moment you start learning, you become a student. And when you are becoming a student, you are requested to do all the assignment, do some self research, and repeat whatever you have learned. So I'm really happy to see that a couple of you are coming back and asking me question that I want to study something more in detail. Can you suggest some material and all? So yes, definitely. Our few students have given few tests and done some free certification online through LinkedIn. So you can definitely look at them and continue to work in that direction. Then the third one is very important, is becoming a not only full stack student, but taking the full responsibility. So what exactly happens? You continue to practice what you are asked to do, you continue to attract the success. And when you don't do so, you attract the failure. And when you take the responsibility of this failure, that failure becomes the trail for the success. And that's the reason you are requested to not only take a credit for success when you do something great, but also start taking the credit for failure, taking the responsibility of this failure. All right. So the fourth one is shifting in mindset. And when you are on this path of learning, you must inculcate the habit of a learning mindset, and that to start with the positivity, with full positive mindset. And while this is all happening, make sure that you are going totally complaint free. And when you are going totally complaint free, you must load your mind with the gratitude. Okay. And the fifth one is start your day with the high level of receptivity towards the positivity and gratitude. How it is going to happen? Through understanding, and that understanding you can get from listening to your strangest secret of the day. And this audio track has been given to all of you who has asked me. In case you are the one who has not asked about it, please do ask me. I'm going to share this track with you, and then you must start your day listening to this strangest secret every single day. If not thrice, which is recommended, at least once. That is suitable to get started, and you see its effect in your daily life. For next 30 days, it is advised to listen. And then you will see that everywhere your total goal is getting a new direction, and how fast it is going to get achieved, you will be surprised to see. So that's the power of the stranger secret audio track. So that's the reason I am asking you to request for this, so that you can start your day with this. And the second one is very important, is applying the golden quadrant of learning. The learning will never be complete if you are just starting with declaration, that is, I am making you to do, and then you are stopping at the learning. You have to also draw whatever you have learned, so that it will retain in your memory for little longer. But the moment you will summarize with the intent that people will learn through your summary, that is going to retain in your memory forever. And that's the reason it makes it a complete golden quadrant of learning. So we are going to get in a details of today's learning. And before we get into the details, we are going to get started with declaration, and declaration will start with anchoring, and anchoring is going to be a part of NLP, is called as neuro linguistic programming, and there is one method which is called as self hi-fi. That is a kind of a clap. At the count of three we will clap and we will read what is highlighted on the screen. Can you see on the screen the statement which is highlighted?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you for the confirmation. And at the count of three, we are going to give a self high five. 1, 2, 3, and clap. I am quick learner.
I am a quick learner.
What others can learn and master,
What others can learn and master,
I too can do that.
I too
I
can do
too
that.
can do that.
Yes, and once more, you are going to read this this highlighted statement after the count of three with the self high five. 1, 2, 3, and clap. Because I am an awesome learner,
Today
today's
learning
learning
is
is
going to
going
be
to be
super duper
super
easy to
duper
me.
easy to me.
Today's learning is going to be super duper
Super
easy to
duper
me.
easy to me.
Thank you so much. And in case some of you have not participated, don't ask me later that I could not understand this or I could not understand that. Okay, you don't know the power of this declaration. Any learning which gets started through a declaration, you will be completely surprised what brings and how it brings in your plate in a very easy, simple, and well-defined manner. What you are going to learn today. Okay, so I hope everyone has done it. Has everyone done it? The declaration.
Yes.
Thank you so
Yes.
much for confirmation. Whoever has said yes says thank you. And the sixth one, the last one, the code of honor and core value is being a giver. And when you are learning, remember to keep ego away on this path of learning. You might be knowing multiple things, but when you restart and regaining this new material, then you may retain for longer for sure. When you will start relearning as you are going to get started with this, once you get placed, it is going to add a lot of value in your life. And not only this making your learning faster, but also it keeps you spiritually grounded. And while this is happening, I would request everyone, you, if you are today earning, set an intent to do a charity, even a small charity. In case you are not earning today, I would request you to at least set an intent that once you get placed, you will start doing a charity in whatever causes you believe in. It could be in whatever things you believe in. Okay, so you can continue to do so, be it feeding a child, be it donating to mosque, church, or temple, or giving to some NGO away. So in that way, and how much? At least 5% to 10%. Why? Because once you give, you grow, and once you receive, you survive. Okay, so that's the mantra for doing the charity. And starting your job with this intent is going to attract more and more earning. But again, I would request, don't start this intention, don't have this intention with the complete intention to have earning, but also to inspire others. You must do this act. And while this is happening, you must appreciate what you are doing, what others are doing for you, and whatever is not happening to you, because every single step is preparing for you the next brighter step. And one another universal law is associated with this is what appreciates you, what you appreciate appreciates you back. That's the universal law. And if this understanding is very, very much clear to you, you can shout out clear if it is. So is it clear to you, all these six
Yes.
values?
Yes.
Thank you so much. So let's come back. Last time we have stopped at agile principle. We were done with agile manifesto. 4 values we did see, and we did see the benefits of agile, and very, very well very, very well summarized by Ruby so far. Not Ruby, so it was Tejaswini. So Tejaswini had summarized it very, very well. So thank you so much, Tejaswini, for completing your previous learning. Let's get into agile principle. And for this, I would like to request Prerna ji to take it up. So Prerna ji, over to you.
Thank you so much, Gaurav. Before we start the session with Agile Principles, I would really like to have a round of applause for Tejaswini for sharing such a good video, explaining all the learnings from the previous session. So please join me for this round of applause, guys. To Tejaswini.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Yes, definitely Tejaswini. Well, no, job very well done. And definitely others are also encouraged to prepare their videos in such manners, giving their introduction and, sharing the learnings and, so if you ask me what is the motive behind such videos is, first of all, when you create video on your own, you learn and you understand how to talk in front of the camera, which is a lot difficult than to talk in an interview. Okay, because in the camera you're all alone and you might have only your family, but interview you'll have a panel, and it gives you a somewhat feel of how that scenario would be. So first of all, that's a good practice. Second, you work on your communication. You know which words to use, how to talk, where to take a pause, what all details to add. So this is basically your no, pre-interview preparation, which you're doing on your own under our guidance. So I'll really encourage all of you to make such small videos. It can be as small as 5 minutes. It can be as long as half an hour, 15 minutes, depending on your understanding and your comfort level. Plus, but please make. Okay. So I hope you had a great session last week and a very good understanding of Agile Manifesto. Here we are to start with Agile principles. So now, as we all know, there are 4 Agile manifesto and there are 12 Agile principles. Okay. Now, these principles are like the base, or I may call it a building blocks of Agile. And these are, to be very honest, quite easy to understand, easy to follow, yet very important to know and to understand Agile. If you know them well, if you know them on the tip of your tongue, if you understand them, almost you can say Agile pretty well. The terminologies and the process will follow, but why Agile and how Agile, and what is the characteristics of Agile, that is the principles of Agile, that you'll get to know, and that is really very interesting. So I'll just request I think Prajakta to start reading the first principle. Yeah, Prajakta, you there?
Yes, it's customer satisfaction through early and continuous software delivery. Customers are happier when they receive working software at regular intervals rather than waiting extended periods of time between releases.
Thank you, Prajakta. I'll request others to go on mute. I think Radha and Sneha are unmuted, and Prajakta, you also. All three of you, please go on mute so that ensures that we don't have any uh, disturbances. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah. So very well read, Prajakta. If you can see, what it says is customer satisfaction through early and continuous software delivery. If you all have understood what is the waterfall method, wherein the linear may we used to like start development at the end at the start of the year and deliver at the end of the year without any intervention for customer, without any uh, what I would say reviews or presentation to customer, and customer has no idea what is being worked upon. So that was an age old scenario where it was fine for some easy or simple projects, but now in current world where we have projects like for research, for spaceships, for medical advancements, for medical equipments, for automobile, so all these things require such amount of accuracy and timely and fast delivery. So for all this we mostly follow Agile, majorly I would say. So what is the advantage? It is stated that that the customers are very happy to see the working software. So what we do, whatever words I'm mentioning now, like sprints and or backlog, they will be there in the upcoming sessions. So don't get carried away by the thought that what are these, I'm not aware. That's all absolutely fine. We'll explain you that also in detail. Right now, just go with the flow. So assuming a sprint is a duration of development cycle, assuming you have a 4-week sprint, that means you have 1 month. So what is the basic expectation or the characteristics or the principle of agile is that you have to deliver at the end of the sprint. So for example, if you are working on a software for an automated machine, an automated car, if I have to call it right. So all that automation, whatever part we have, whatever part that we have, maybe fuel efficiency. Okay, imagine that is being controlled by a software. Just hypothetically for understanding, if that part is being developed, the customer would like to see that how it is working. Okay, so simply it means that after every sprint, after every time interval, we have to give a working software or we have to give a working functionality to the customer. So that builds trust, that builds comfort level, and the customer is very happy to see the working model, working functionality, and they know what is happening in the project. Okay, are we good? Can we go to the next point, please? Any
Yes.
doubts? See, first of all, if you have any doubts, please let me know. Intervene in between and us. I know you are most welcome. So don't think that if I'm talking, how can I, interrupt? That's fine. Just let me know. Can you please elaborate more, or I did not understand? Whatever you feel like. Okay, fine. Okay. Now, going to Radha. Radha, can you just read out the next point?
Yeah, sure. Accommodate changing requirements throughout the development process. The ability to avoid delays when a requirement or future request changes.
Thank you, Radha. So what it says is,
Welcome.
yeah, accommodate changing requirements throughout the development process. Okay. So now this is a very important feature of Agile. What it says that while in the development process, you have to be flexible and you have to be able to consider and to accept and to work on the changing requirement. Okay. How do you do this? I have a very easy to understand example which I often give is you all are familiar with Facebook. Are you are on
Yes.
Facebook? Yeah. Have you seen the
Yes.
site? Have you seen the
Yes.
app? Yes. Okay. You must have seen the app develop, getting developed for last 10-12 years. Earlier, it was such a plain, web page, very basic functionalities. And today you see, you can create polls, you can donate, you can have your business page, you can have marketplace, you can have whatnot, right? It's altogether a very big functionality setup. So so assumingly if it was a Facebook and it was a very simple page, simple website earlier, as per the customer's requirement, it started growing the same way. What Agile says is, for example, imagine we are developing a software lookalike, Facebook lookalike application by the name of Notebook. And we are working on the functionality of search for a friend, search a friend, like we have go and search people. In that, assumingly the customer comes and says, along with the search friend, I also want to have add a friend, send request to them and send message to them. Now for you these are only 2 clicks, right? But from development point of view, there is a lot of huge development in the background. You have to send a request and get the data and have the chat messenger ready. So I just don't worry about the technical part, but just imagine whatever we do on a click of a button, it requires a lot of technical functionality to be developed in the background. Okay, always remember that. So now the customer says it's quite important for them and they want to present this to their MD or CEO, and this is important. So what do we do? Do we say no, 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 we only work on search friend option because that was earlier considered? No. What we do, we work on that, but not directly. We definitely check with our senior and we tell the customer that okay, if we work on this functionality, other functionality that were earlier decided. Maybe earlier decided was we will work on the home page or album creation page. So we can always tell them, if you want this functionality, the other functionalities will get delayed. If that is okay with you, we can go ahead. And all this happens after a confirmation or after approval from your seniors, that is your scrum master, your product owner, and your senior management if required to be involved. Okay, remember all these terminologies. This will come in the next sessions, but this is how it goes. So this is what this principle says. You have to incorporate the changing requirements throughout the development process. Okay, are we good for to go to the next point?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, can we go to Tejaswini?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
A frequent delivery of working software. Scrum accommodates this principle since the team operates in software sprints or iterations that ensure regular delivery of working software.
Now, see, these are interconnected to what we have seen in the earlier points. That's why we have these points in this flow. It simply means that every iteration should, and generally it would result in whatever what I would say, a delivery of working software. That means after every sprint, maybe 4 weeks, 6 weeks, or 3 weeks, whatever the duration of your sprint is, that should result in a working functionality of working software. Software means, I'm not saying the entire software will be ready in 4 weeks. That means all these, like when we were thinking about Facebook, add a friend, search a friend, message a friend, group chat, or create your album, or have your home page, add your background page, add info about yourself. All these are small functionalities, right? So whatever the customer has been asking, that has to be developed, after the after every sprint. That's why it's mentioned that Scrum recommends this principle, that after every iteration or after every sprint, that we have to ensure a working software. Okay, now this is a very funny part. Okay, what do you mean by working software? That means the functionality that is being expected has to be completed and working. Okay, are we good? Good to go to the
Yes.
next.
Yes.
See, I
Yes.
understand these are, you might feel, oh, these are similar, these are repetitive, you might, but then why there is so much detailing that these, because these points are like pillars. If you understand this well, why they have mentioned this, why they are saying working software, why they are emphasizing on customer delivery, why they are ensuring that we have to accommodate their requirements, because this is agile and this is how agile operates. Okay, so try to
Uh,
remember this. Yeah,
Prernaji, I have a question.
yeah, please go ahead.
Agile is a person who talks to the client and then talks to the developer teams and then tell the developer team what the clients want and then like get the recommendations and then do everything. That's what the agile person's job is.
Okay, now let me start with a very big clarification. Agile is not a person, agile is a methodology. Okay, agile is a way we do things. Okay, like how we say traditional marriage and court marriage. So is traditional marriage a person or a court marriage a person? No, right? This is a way how we do it. Traditionally, we do all that, our rituals, and then we get married. And court marriage, we just go and we sign and put garlands and take a picture, right? This is a process. You understand the process? Yeah. So same way, agile is a methodology. It's a process. So by the way, a good question. I'm happy that you're getting your doubts cleared. So what happens in agile? Entire team is called as development team. Okay, normally in IT, what happens? The developers are the people who develop a software. Only they are called as development team. But in agile, you have testing team, you have people from testing side, you have developers, you have business analysts, you may have architects, may have subject matter experts. All of them combined are called as development team, right? So what happens generally in agile, a team members also one to one talk to the customer depending on their seniority and their work, and a customer can directly talk to Scrum Master also. So whichever way the requirement comes, it always is discussed with seniors. If it comes to Scrum Master, he ensure to discuss with his product owner. If it is too big of a requirement, it involves a lot of time, and it will kind of affect the, I would say, cost of the project. Like for example, if we were to finish a project in 6 months, just for understanding, and if this new functionality or additional functionality makes the project to go for 9 months, that means our timelines are affected, right? Our timelines,
Yes.
3 months you're pushing it. So in this scenario, you just cannot say yes upfront. You have to always say, I need to check this with my senior management, my senior people. And once you check with them, and you come back to them and say yes or no. But then with the added timelines and with the added expense, or with the added cost. Okay. So always remember, though we are inculcating or we are considering their requests, but we have to weigh them. We have to ensure the pros or cons. Like, if we are definitely will work on them because it's a customer ask, but if that results in more time, more resources, like if we want to if they want some functionality and that kind of developer we do not have, so we need to have that kind of person in our team, right? So all
Mm-hmm.
these things are costly to the team. You have to get a new person, you have to pay them separately, and you have to
Right.
have more time. So understand from this point of view that, so if you're cooking something and then just someone at the last moment comes and tells you to add two more dishes, what is your question to them? If it is your business, you'll be more than happy. But if it at home, what do you say? Okay, I'll make it, I'll cook it, but I'll take more time, and I'll need help, I need resources, I need someone to cut the onions, I need someone to peel the potatoes or whatnot, and I need more stuff, and I need all the ingredients. So you need time, you need resources, and you need cost. By cost, you're asking for resources or ingredients here. You just can't ask at home, I need 1,000 bucks for that. No, right? So
Mm-hmm.
and just trying to map it to the real world, and with your personal experience.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
very good question. So agile methodology is followed like this, because you cannot say yes and no upfront. It has to run through with all the seniors before giving it to the customer. Okay. Does
Okay.
that
And
answer
And
your
even if
question?
that's, yeah, and if the sprint time is like instead of 6 months, if we need the 9 months, we can cost additional cost to the client,
Yes,
right?
you have to, right?
Yes.
See,
Mhm.
customers, I have a very interesting
No,
case to
sometimes
this.
if the question will be like that, if the client will ask you, right, you gave us like the time period of 6 months, like in earlier
Yeah,
sprint, and
I
now you're
gave,
asking
yeah,
for 3 more months, and you're now we have to pay more from our pocket. So in that case,
because
like,
you're asking for new functionality, you're asking for additional functionality. I'll
mhm,
give you a very simple and easy to understand example. Okay, this is for all, and this is very practical to agile. Though you may find it funny, or you'll find it on a lighter note, but it's very practical. You have a birthday party at your place. It can be yours, your spouses, your family members, your kids, anybody's. Okay, and you decided to cook at home. Okay, instead of ordering, and assuming you're cooking a biryani, you know how much time it takes to cook a biryani. Okay, you cook a biryani, and then someone comes and says they don't eat biryani. Okay, so assumingly out of 20 people, 4 people don't eat biryani. What do? At the
I have
last
to
moment,
cook.
you have to cook for
Yes.
something else. So
Yes.
what will it result in? First of all, it will result in more efforts from your side, right? And more time.
Right.
If you could finish your lunch, or if you could finish your cooking by 3 p.m., you will now take at least 4 and 4.5 p.m. to prepare an alternate entire dish for them, whatever it can be. It can
Right.
be a basic pulav, it can be a curry, it can be a cake, it can be anything, right? So
Mm-hmm.
same way, when agile a customer asks for something new, you have to, or as a senior, maybe scrum master, a product owner, will have a discussion. It's not that because they are customers you have to agree upon everything. See, if there are some
Mm-hmm.
small, for example, if someone comes and says, hey, I want raita, or I want curd with what, biryani, that's okay, right? It's not a big job.
Yes.
You just get the curd
Yes.
out of your fridge, and you chop some maybe some onion and some cucumber and whatnot you like, and put it into, yeah, just like 5-10 minutes, you're good to go, That's
Mhm.
right. And then the person also feels good. Okay, she just offered me when I asked. It was so nice of her. Same way, even in IT industry, if there are some small functionalities which won't take much time, which won't take much efforts, you always make them most of the time. So those are called brownie points. And why do you do that? You do that to have a good bond with your customer, to have a friendly bond. And customer should also say, hey, they did this for me. But then we have to ensure it will not affect the cost. So there's a difference. If someone comes and tells you to cook chicken biryani along with veg biryani, now that's a big task. You will take maybe 3 4 hours or more than that. But someone comes and tells you, hey, can you have a raita with that, or can you just serve pickle? So serving pickle won't have much time. You have the bottle ready, you just have to give them in the dish, just serve them. So see the difference. Am I clear on the difference, guys? This is
Yes,
very
yes.
important. Though this example is very simple, you might find it funny, but this is very important to know the understanding of what you can deliver upfront, or definitely after running through with your seniors, and what we will have discussions for. There's an entirely big dish or entirely big functionality. You'll definitely have to check with your seniors. Okay. And then once they agree, and once the customer agrees on the cost and the expense and on the timelines, then only you go ahead. Because if they don't agree, why would you develop that? Okay. Am I good, Prajakta? Does this answer your question?
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much.
Super. Most
Prerna,
welcome.
one
Yeah,
more
yeah.
thing I would like to add over
Please,
here.
please
So,
go ahead.
Prajakta, thank you for asking the question. I know that you started after day one or day two of week one, and then you are also requested to go back and complete and see the recording of the week one. Okay, because that
Mhm.
will give more clarity to you. With your question, I understood that you have not yet completed watching
Yeah,
the
I have to go
previous.
through the second
Yeah,
video
yeah.
actually.
So week one's video has more clarity, whatever the question you have. So agile is a way, as Prerna explained. That is number one.
Hmm.
Number two, everyone. This is for everyone, and thank you for doing little, little blunder when you guys were talking, Prajakta. So from there I picked up, and that's the reason I'm going to bring everyone attention over here. Pay very close attention when you are speaking up and when you are in an interview. Even doing a minute mistake may bring the not so great result. For example, we have been talking about a sprint timeline, and sprint timeline I have been telling since last day that it has to be minimum 1 week and maximum how many weeks? How many weeks, guys? four
Four
weeks
weeks.
4
right?
weeks.
Forward.
So the moment we are into the speaking mode, and the moment we would say that it has to be minimum 1 month and maximum 4 months, are we really going to add value into our interview? No, that will be completely in vain when we are talking. And instead of weeks, we said a month. Okay, people will think that he or she doesn't know anything about agile or even for sprint. So yeah, when even you are speaking, where to say or where to quote days or hours or week, be very mindful on that. Okay, we may speak of something else what is not needed. So that is one thing I just wanted to bring everyone's attention. So be very much clear. Sprint duration is from 1 week to 4 weeks. That is what last time we have captured. That's one thing I just wanted to add over here. Thank you so much for this wonderful conversation, wonderful question and explanation by Prernaji. Prernaji, you can continue. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for adding this, Gaurav. I'll just request Liz to read the last point. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Am I
Elizabeth, this
am
is
I
for
Collaboration.
you.
Yeah, it's
Collaboration.
Elizabeth, right? Yeah,
Yes.
please go ahead.
Collaboration between the business stakeholders and developers throughout the project. Better decisions are made when the business and techno, techno
Technical
team
team.
are technical team are aligned.
Okay, thank you, Elizabeth. So see, guys, this is on the similar ground which what we just discussed, that there has to be a collaboration or understanding between stakeholders and developers throughout. Like, for example, I was just discussing the earlier scenario where someone is asked for a additional chicken biryani and you just cannot prepare it. You have to check with your family or when your friends are arriving, and do you have the sufficient time, do you have the ingredients and whatnot. So same way, if the customer asks for some additional functionalities, you'll have to check with your seniors, with your stakeholders. Now, stakeholder is also a very interesting terminology. We have an entire dedicated session on stakeholders, so don't worry, we'll learn that in very much detail. For now, just understand anybody who holds stake or interest in your project is your stakeholder, right? So your development team, your scrum master, the product owner, the management, the vendors, the customers, everybody is mentioned as stakeholder. So what it means is the collaboration between all your interested people and all, and and throughout the development process is very important. So this simply means when a customer asks for any particular requirement, you have to check with your seniors, and everybody has to be on the same page. Okay, there should not be any communication gap. So that is what it says. The decisions are made with the business and technical team. That means your senior management is there, the development team is there, the technical architects are there, the scrum master is there. So everybody is there in a discussion, and then you confirm, okay, this functionality we can go ahead or we cannot go ahead, right? So it just simply means everybody is closely knit and they have frequent discussions whenever required, and there is no communication gap. There is not supposed to be any communication gap, right? Are we good? Gaurav, you want to add something here? I guess that's a no. Okay. So can I just request, I think this is Sharda Mishra, right? So Sharda, Gaurav, can you please read out the first point?
So she's Suchana, I guess. S. Mishra, you see, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
Suchana is
sorry,
in that.
Oh,
Suchana.
yes,
I'm
it's
so
right.
sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, Suchana. Can you
Yes,
please read out
sorry.
the first point? No, no, no worries.
Okay. Support, trust, and motivate the people involved. Motivated teams are more likely to deliver their best work than unhappy teams.
Trust me, this is self-explanatory, right? So support, trust, and motivation is and motivate the people involved. So that simply means all these characteristics are very important for a team to operate. Even in your general day-to-day life, these are very important factors, right? So yes, we have to ensure that the team is closely connected. They are they are very much reliable. They trust each other, and they motivate, as in there see, we are talking about scenarios where you have to finish something in 4 weeks, and the time period is very short, and everybody is working on their task, and it's kind of a I would say a strict schedule, quite a tight schedule. And in this scenario, when you need any help from other person or other teammates, they're there to support you, they're there to guide you, and you trust them wholeheartedly. So there is no question of other things, or any doubt. So and this is very important, because when you have such good team, you feel so motivated, you have that brotherhood or sisterhood feeling with them, and you're so comfortable like a family, and that ultimately you know uh, results in a good and timely delivery, and that makes a team happy. So all these things make sure that your team is working fine, as well as you are developing and delivering also properly. So this goes hand in hand, right? When you trust your team, when you're happy, when you're motivated, you do well. That's also applicable in real life. Okay, I think this point is quite self-explanatory and easy to understand, but it's one of the important principles, so please remember. Okay, moving on to next point. I'll just request Ruby to read out.
Sure.
Yeah.
Enable face-to-face interactions. Communication is more successful when development teams are co-located.
Okay, now this point, what it says is that one of the expectation, I would say, not requirement always. Expectation is the agile team has to be at the same location, but I think that was more suitable, and it was apt or applicable in pre-COVID scenario. Right now, even in agile, because of the certain situations, people are working from remote location, but the expectation or the best suitable scenario is when we have your the entire team situated at single location, at the same location, because this is how you can work very closely with each other, understanding how they work, how fast and what methodology they use, and the collaboration increases. So this is one of the important points of agile, when they emphasize, see, again I'm highlighting its principles, where it says these are the best thing that you can follow. Definitely post COVID, during COVID, things have changed, but if someone asks you, you can always say it is encouraged or it is advisable to have teams in a same location, a same office, a same building, so you can work very close and closely and effectively. So this is what it says when we say face to face interaction, that everybody is sitting in a I would say in a same similar or under one setup, and everybody is reachable or to everyone. Okay. Now this is also important from agile point of view. Am I good? Okay. So can I request Sharda to read the next point, please?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Working software is the primary measure of progress. Delivering functional software to the customer is the ultimate factor that measures progress.
Absolutely. We also studied similar principle in the earlier slide. So, what agile kind of simplifies your life, whatever new you're learning, but understand this all is ultimately helping us to work in a very, I would say, diligent and effective manner. So, what it simply states is working software or working functionality is the primary measure of success. So, after a sprint, after 4 weeks, how would you measure your progress? How would you know what you have achieved, or where you stand? What is the percentage of completion? And all these questions. So, this is simply measured by what all working functionality or working software that you have developed, right? So assuming, take considering the example of that Facebook lookalike app called Notebook, wherein your functionality is like it, after every sprints, if you're working on, okay, I've completed this functionality of adding a friend, chat, messaging a friend, creating a chat, a group with friend. Then I'm gonna work in next sprint on having my homepage, add my details, my educational, my professional, my hobbies, and my wall, how it looks, where can I add pictures. So all these are functionalities, right? So how do you deliver that in each sprint? What is the outcome of each sprint is important, and that is how the progress is measured. Okay. So this is what it states when I say working software is the primary measure of progress. That simply means whatever is working and whatever functionality you're developing, and this is how you're just growing or completing the project as you go ahead. Fine. I think this
Prerna,
is also quite, yeah.
what
You
is
just
the
manage.
difference between the third point, like the frequent delivery of working software to this working software is the primary measure of progress?
Yeah. So see, if you see, these points are interlinked. Okay. So when I say frequent delivery means every iteration after every sprint will have to deliver something that is working, that function. Like for example, when I gave that earlier discussion, when I was mentioning, I said you have to work on the functionality of find a friend. You have to work on the functionality of creating a group chat, right? These are all functionalities. So
Mhm.
ultimately, these are called frequent deliveries. And when you deliver like this, when you start ticking off, okay, I've worked on this, see, out of assuming 10 tasks, if you have completed 4 tasks or you completed 5 tasks, you can say, right, your 50% work is done, right?
Okay, okay.
So same way, once you start delivering, that ultimately results in your completion of work or your progress. If you don't know how many things you have completed, or if you're not taking a stock, how would you know how much you have finished, right?
Got it.
If-
Okay.
Yeah,
So
even
the third point is you are focusing on the software if it is being delivered at frequent
yes,
intervals, but you're
and
measuring
ultimately,
the progress. Okay.
that results in, once you complete that functionality, it results in completion of your overall task. Like it's like out of 10, if you finished 5, you can give in your presentation, you can say that 50% of our work is done, right? See,
Got it.
business is always about numbers and measurements and outcomes. Okay, it's not our personal way, or how we do things at home. We are very relaxed about ourselves. We are very easygoing because it's our way of life. But in industry, always remember, it is about customer satisfaction, and definitely more about, along with that, if not more, is about profits. So how will you know profits? If something was to be completed by, say, March end, assuming, and if that is not even completed half by March mid, there has to be a red alarm, right? I'm not talking about
True.
agile. I'm just talking about something in casual. And agile, it doesn't happen because we have strict timelines and we have to adhere to them. So you know where you are, falling short, or when you're going slow. So how would you know how much you complete? By this? Okay, by every delivery, you would know, okay, I completed this, that is fine. Moving to the next point. Okay, does this answer your
Got
question,
it.
Tejaswini?
Yes,
Yeah,
Prerna. Thank you.
thank you. And I'm really happy that you're asking these smart questions. Any doubts, please feel free to ask. Okay. Now, who is left? I'm not sure. Radha is done. Radha, you can unmute yourself. Have you
Yeah,
read
yeah,
out the point?
yeah. Okay, I will read it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please.
Agile processes to support a consistent development pace. Teams establish a repeatable and maintainable speed at which they can deliver working software, and they repeat it with each release.
Yes. So now what it says, agile processes to support a consistent development pace. Now, this is very important. You might feel what's the great deal about it, but imagine if you're working in a very closely knit team of, say, 8 to 10, depending on the team size, people, 8 to 10 people, assuming, and out of which, now, very relatable recent scenario during COVID, when during the mid COVID, when the other industries like banking industries, medical industries, or medical setup was working. Imagine out of 10, if assumingly 4 people are sick, or they're out on some personal work, or they just couldn't, if there is some other issue, some traffic, or some maybe other thing, they couldn't travel, or they just couldn't be available. So how would you cope up with that? Because the basic requirement is the development pace has to be maintained. So there are things like others can, distribute their work amongst themselves, or you can have some additional resources to fill in for them as backup during that time. So all these things consider. See, we are humans, right? So someone can be on a sick leave for a couple of days. Someone can have some unforeseen events or anything, if they are on a planned leave for that matter. So in such scenarios also, we have to ensure that our delivery isn't impacted and we develop at the same pace, at the same speed. Is it easy to understand now?
Yes.
This
Yes.
is
Yes.
what it means, right?
Yeah.
So whenever there is any big sentence or any big line, just don't get carried away, or taken aback or shocked what it means. Just simply try to break the sentence and try to understand the meaning behind it. It is most of the time always simple. Maybe at the first reading you will find it little odd, but once you read more and try to understand, it's always easy. And if it's not easy, we are there to make it easy for you, right? Thank you, Radha. So I think, yeah, Gaurav, we can go to the next slide, please. Or you want to add something here?
No, we can continue in flow. Yeah,
Yeah, thank you.
welcome.
Yes. So I'll just request Sneha to read the first point.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you.
Welcome.
Attention to technical detail and design enhances agility. The right skills and good design ensures the team can maintain the pace, constantly improve the product, and sustain change.
So now this is with relation to what we were just discussing right now. What it says is technical detail and design enhances agility. So that means when we have good technical designs, and that means simply means when we have good people who are technically very advanced, and the application design is also properly done, that simply results in very good quality delivery, or it enhances agility means when we have this good quality people and good technical design, and overall architectural setup properly done, our project or our software is delivered on time and with proper development pace, right? So this simply means, or this is one of the requirements of agile, that you have to ensure that your application is designed properly, it's designed well, and everybody involved in it is technically sound to work on. That is the requirement. Is there any doubt in this? See, this simply means that you have to start with good quality architecture, good quality people to work on. And if you have everything of good quality, starting with your resources, with your okay, for example, I'll just give you another relatable example. Assuming you're building a house, okay, and you get those blueprints, right? Has anybody seen that in the movies, in the real life? The
Yes.
blueprints or the plans,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you see any flaw in that plan, like for example, if there is no proper drainage system in your wash basin or from your kitchen sink, if that design already has a flaw, what are the chances, or what do you feel how the implementation would be if you don't correct it? There will be
Right.
flaw, right? Because
Yeah, it's
you can't
total mess.
simply follow that,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
Yes.
So that is what we say. So same way, like how the architectures have planned, we also have architecture and IT. And if that architecture itself is faulty, then there are high chances that the outcome would also be faulty, right? Because it is simply following the process. So that is why your plan, your architecture, your technical, inputs have to be of the best quality to enhance agility, to enhance the best quality, to deliver in the best quality. Fine, super. Yeah. Now the next point is as simple as it mentions. Elizabeth, can you please read out the next point?
Simplicity.
Ye-
Develop just enough to get the job done for right now.
Yes. Now this is, they say it's very difficult to be simple, because it's not because being simple is always very underrated. So it means whatever you have been asked for, just work on that. Okay, don't see what happens. In the course of action, you get carried away, you get all pumped up, and you're like, okay, let us work on this functionality also. Let us give customer this also. But no, we have to consider the timelines that we have. We have to consider what is their ask, and be we have to have the presence of mind. If the customer is asking, like for example, for the birthday party, if you're cooking veg biryani, then stick to it, because you don't have that much time, and this is the requirement. This is what happens with us sometimes, that in that flow of work, or in that mind, you just start working on something else and complicate things. So that is the requirement. Don't do that. Whatever has been asked, whatever has been planned, just work on it and get that done. That is what it means when it says simplicity. Isn't it easy to understand? Yes.
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 Yes, it
Yes.
is. It is easy. Yeah, I'll just request Sharda to read the next point.
Yeah, thank you. Self-organizing teams encourage great architectures, requirements, and designs. Skilled and motivated team members who have decision-making power take ownership, communicate regularly with other team members, and share ideas that deliver quality products.
Yes. So self-organizing teams encourage great architectures, requirements, and designs. Yeah. Can anybody elaborate this? I just explained this 5 minutes back. Yeah. Can anybody say in their own words? They are more than welcome. Please.
Just now you said, like, if we have a great team with great architecture, with
Yes,
good like developers and good technical skills, it's easy for us to give
Mm-hmm.
a best product to the client, deliver a best product to
Mm-hmm.
the client.
Yes, yes, yes. What do we understand when we say self-organizing teams? It's just plain simple English. We'll explain that. Don't worry. But when I say self-organizing team, as a phrase or as a English word, what do you
Small
understand from it?
teams.
It's a
Ma'am, they
small
know
team
take the
what
with
they are
responsibility
learning,
of the
what
One
they know
person at a
what they
time,
have to
please.
do.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
knowledge
One
of the work.
person at a time. Go
Okay,
I
ahead.
ma'am.
think I think the focus over here is on like self-organizing, where I think all the developers or whoever is part of the whole team like knows exactly what is expected out of them, in how much time it is expected, and they themselves have good technical skills. And plus I think these teams like somehow because it's such a fast-paced environment, they are they don't, I think, go back again and again to their seniors to kind of they sort out their own problems, is what I feel.
Yeah, quite well elaborated. But the last line is not completely right, as in it's not completely correct. It's scenario based. Self-organizing teams, as the word suggests, they organize them. They are organized and they manage themselves. That means there is no micromanagement required. You know what is micromanagement? When you're, say, assuming your 5 or 6 year kid is studying and you're just sitting next to them, and you're just ensuring that they're writing each word, each spelling, each alphabet right. That is micromanagement. That is required at that time because you're dealing with a kid, but that is not required when you're working with agile team, because they are already skilled, and they have great architecture with them. They know what are the requirements, and the team is awesomely built. They are, they trust each other, and they are highly skilled. So that simply means they most of the times manage things on their own. That doesn't mean that they can't and they don't go to scrum master and product owner. This simply means they are very skilled and motivated, and they have the decision making power and ownership. So many a times when there's a technical thing, they have the discussions, brainstormings among themselves, and then uh, they can give the alternatives or give their understandings or share their understandings with product owner or seniors, before taking any before entire team as a whole taking any discussion, so taking any
Prerna,
decision. Yeah.
may I add
What was
something over here, please?
Please go ahead.
Yeah. So I would like to take you to the previous example. If you remember the previous example I was giving you with the bread loaf. Do you remember that from
Yes.
yes.
earlier session?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So before I
Yes,
give
that's
that,
taken him.
yeah. So before I tell you more in detail about it, self-organizing team is that taking initiative and taking responsibility and going ahead and being more proactive. How? Say, for example, in the previous example, we said that you have bread loaf, you have kid, and you have to deliver it in sprint planning. We from product backlog, we bring it to the sprint backlog, and we pull out some thinnest slide, then thinner slide, and little thick slide. Now imagine that you have pulled out all those slices which requires to be delivered into the team, and your team is over here is your kid, just as an example. Now imagine you have 2 3 kids, and you have pulled out the prioritized slices, that is the piece of work, into the plate, into the sprint planning. And all of a sudden one participant or one kid says that, hey, I'll go ahead with the thickest one. The another participant or other kids say, okay, I love the tutti frutti flavor, and the thinnest slice has this tutti frutti cut as well, so I would like to go ahead with that. The another participant or another kid says that, okay, I'm okay with the mid one, so I don't even hate the bread slices, nor I love it, but because we don't have choice, we can go ahead with that. And everyone is contributing in this sprint planning meeting after looking at the sprint backlog, and they themselves nominating themselves that on what feature they can work and how they can contribute. So this is how self-organizing team are more in synergy, come together and ready to contribute at detail level. So does it make sense to all of you how this self-organizing team is proactive and flexible and ready to contribute? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yes.
this is
Yes.
what I just wanted to add, Prerna, so go back to you.
Thank you so much, Gaurav. Thank you. Yeah, so now coming to the last point, I'll just request Ruby to read it out. Yeah, Ruby?
Sure. Regular reflections on how to become more effective, self improvement, process improvement, advancing skills and techniques help team members work more efficiently.
Now, this is a very realistic and very applicable point to all of you. What it means, regular reflections on how to become more effective. Okay. So, for example, during your childhood, when we all were in schools, and we had our final exams, and if we were a pretty good student, as in a regular student, not the people who just study before exam. Nah, I'm not considering them as of now. But for our example, see, if we were a regular student, like we used to study or revise regularly. So how would you reflect on? If there is a poem that has to be recited, or it has to be memorized for your Viva exams, you used to ensure to remember all that poem, sing in front of your family or sing in front of the mirror. So this is how you used to reflect. Okay, do I know it by heart completely? Have I memorized it, or can I say it properly? So this is how we measure our progress. This is a very simple example, but a relatable one. That means whenever we are working on something, we have to ensure that we are working to our fullest or to our best version. Okay. So same way, what it says is, it says how to become more effective. How would you become more effective? By self improvement. In this scenario, self improvement can be, you can learn some additional skills which is required for this project, or you can fasten your speed, or you can make sure that you are putting in some maybe extra hours if you feel that you are delaying, or you can be more sharp, you can work on your memory, any n number of ways that you can work on yourself. You can collaborate better, you can check with your seniors, you can guide others to in their work, so the overall delivery can be fast paced. So same way, process improvement means we have to ensure that we are working faster, the communication is better. Already the process is great, but how can I more make it more effective? How can I make it better? So you have to think on those lines. Advancing skills, I just mentioned that you can learn some additional skills, or you can learn more about the existing skills that you're working on. You can become an expert if you're not already. And yeah, and the techniques, that means the technical part, the implementation part, the team building part, the understanding part, all these techniques, if you what I would say, advance, or if you develop further, this ultimately would result in in more efficient team or more efficient outcome. So these all points are also applicable to your real life, in real scenario. If you work on yourself, your skills, your teamwork, your overall process, you would achieve better results, right? So this is with respect to agile. As a already self-managing and self-organizing team, they always and always aspire and work for bettering themselves, and that's a very good point for us to learn from this team or from this concept. Okay. So anyone has any doubts, or else I'll just request Gaurav to add something in it if he wishes to. Yeah, Gaurav.
Nothing to add further, but yeah, these are very crucial and important point. You must remember this because these are the principle. Along with values, we need to also remember the principle and standard. So yes, so I can further continue if Prerna, you are done.
Yeah, sure, Gaurav. Sure.
Okay,
Thanks.
so now what we are getting into, we are getting into understanding the at detail level and deeper level about Scrum role, events, planning, and sprint. Okay, so Scrum a framework. Last time you have seen, you have taken the screenshot of that, that how it continues, and so what all are the roles are there in the framework, in this Scrum framework, and what all are the sprint? Like one, we have been talking about sprint planning, right, with the example of a bread loaf and slicing it down and distributing among the team and taking it on the priority basis. We have been talking about that. So likewise, there are multiple events. Okay, so we will be looking them as well, and we will be also looking at Scrum sprint. What exactly sprint means? So far we have known it as this is a part of time duration, this is a small fraction, this is a contribution. Okay, so let's get into details, and we are going to get started with the Scrum role. So far we have heard various role about, and the very first role we will come to know like this: the product owner, and then Scrum Master and development team. So imagine when a team comes together, we have to just name it. Like we have just now heard while Prerna was explaining about the development team. So this development team who follows the Scrum processes or Scrum framework is also known as Scrum team. So let me reshare my screen. I think screen is not yet shared. So here we go. So can you see the screen now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So thank you. Thank you for confirmation. So this is the Scrum team. Okay. They have got various roles of Scrum Master, development team, and product owner. Okay. Product owner, who is the person who manages the product backlog item. You remember all the bread loaf example. It has got various slices and it's still stacked up at before it started getting consumed. Okay, but before it gets into the plate, okay, it has to be managed, and this is what is called as product backlog. It requires to be optimized, and yeah, by the product owner. So in nutshell, he manages the product backlog item and optimizes the value of the product. So this is all about product owner. And this is the Scrum Master. Also remember, he is known as servant leader. Servant leader, a very crucial task. The entire dependency is on him or her, that he or she has to decide that all the process will smoothen up and everything will follow its standard and protocols. Okay, he manages the entire Scrum processes, make sure none of the impediments are there in this process, and the work goes smoother. Development team, which is also known as self-organized team. Okay, so they manage by themselves, and that's the reason they are also known as self-organized team. Okay, and their objective is to mark all the increments as done. So they create done increments. Okay, so when we are talking about done increment, we will be talking about what do we mean by done. Okay, so when we will be explaining you product backlogs, so we will be talking about that. What exactly, every time we are talking about product backlog, so I believe it is very much clear with the bread loaf example from last time. uh, uh, Bread loaf example is where bread loaf is nothing but the items, a bigger chunk of bigger bucket of item which is to be consumed. And then what we did with that, we slice them into the thinner slices, right? And then we excuse me, we continue to deliver it to the person who is going to consume it. So in the similar manner, product backlog is the list of item requires to be consumed or requires to be delivered or requires to be developed. Okay, and then sprint backlog is a smaller smaller size of activity which requires to be done by the development team. In entirety, this team is also known as Scrum team. Is it clear to you what it is called as? Scrum team. What is the
Team.
word? Yeah, Scrum
Scrum
team.
team.
Exactly. Thank you so much. So let's understand more about their responsibility. How do they look like? So here you see the four people in the picture. One is product owner, another is Scrum master, and another Scrum team. Who is the fourth person? Who, that is the gray area. Okay. So we will be looking at this person also in detail. So quickly to let you run through, let's start with product owner. So product owner is the person. Now pay very close attention, guys. Okay, I need your attention because I don't want you to miss out on these. So product owner, he conveys the vision of the stakeholders to the team. Stakeholders, who are they? They are also part of sponsors, they are also part of customer. So he conveys the vision to the team, the entire team. Okay, and he can alter the scope means what to be developed, what to be created, what not to be created, based on the priority what customer is seeking. So what he can do, can someone just speak it up, what he can do based on the priority? Can someone speak up, please? Just now I said,
He delivers the need of the customer.
yeah, so I just said that he can alter the scope, he can change it, okay, based on the requirement. All right. So the third one is he is responsible for the return on investment. That is why they occupy an authoritative position in the firm. So see, the entire return on investment is his responsibility. So he may choose what to keep in scope in immediate delivery, what not to keep it up, what not to keep it in the scope. Okay, and that's the reason, because he is making decision, he is the authoritative responsibility. And the last but not the least, not only with the team but also communicates with the stakeholders about the progress and problem. It is quite natural, okay, because he is taking the updates from the team, how things are going on. He is on top of the every item of every work. Okay, so he knows each and everything in and out. So not only he needs to be updated, he needs to pass on this updates to the stakeholders, to the sponsors, or to the more precisely to the client. Okay, because client has to be updated so that they can track the progress. So is it clear about product owner's responsibility, guys? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes.
Now listen about Scrum Master. Who is he? So as I said, Scrum Master is also known as a servant leader. His entire job is removing all the impediments and hindrance to achieve the goals. So what may happen, from other projects, some people may come to the development team, they may request, because you are the person who knows XYZ, you are the expert person, you have the expertise, they may seek your help. Okay, the moment you dive away your attention, you sway away your attention from your ongoing tasks to some other activity, definitely your current project or current activity is going to suffer. So even that kind of things does not become hindrance or impediment. That is his responsibility. For Scrum Master, he or she needs to keep her eyes open always, so that such kind of unnecessary request or such kind of impediments or hindrances doesn't occur. So they have to look at it. So that is one role. Second is that he or she enforces, Scrum Master enforce, to organize Scrum ceremonies and processes. To quickly name them, these are sprint planning meeting, these are sprint review meeting, these are daily Scrum meeting, and these are sprint retrospective meeting. These are the some name of the ceremonies. And because we are calling it as ceremony, remember to celebrate as a Scrum team member. Okay, so it should not be very monotonous. By the way, are you all with me, listening to me? Prajakta,
Yes.
Radha,
Yes.
Elizabeth,
Yes.
and Ruby.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yeah,
Yes.
Sharda and Tejaswini. Thank you so much for responding. And the third one is to commit to goals and deadlines on behalf of the team. Okay, so a team may get into the thinking mode and they may say that I'll come back and I'll commit, but his job is to collect all those commitment and accumulate that and declare in front of everyone that what they have decided, how you are going to achieve this. And this is the responsibility of Scrum team. Scrum team together collectively does all that lead them towards the sprint goal. Sprint goal means a smaller piece of time what you are going to deliver to the client. So that has to be led by the Scrum team. They have to make sure, even I have picked up something to deliver, I have to be on the top of it and ready to deliver, okay, in the defined timeline. The second one is that they work with the Scrum Master to prioritize the items from the product backlog in the sprint planning. Now, this is very, very clear to you about product backlog. Always remember the bread loaf example, which has been sliced into the thinnest and thickest, slice of the bread is ready to be delivered, is the thinnest, thickest, and thinner task of the big project. So yes, so they work with the Scrum Master to prioritize these items, and that's the reason we also call it, at the moment it becomes comes under the priority, it is called as a sprint backlog item. Okay, it is not a Scrum Master who organizing the team, it is self-organized team. That's the reason they organize themselves. Need to attend every stand-up and other ceremony. Stand-up is, just now I spoke up as daily Scrum. Okay, that is one of the ceremony where you come together, everyone has to come together, and every individual has to speak up three things. What did you do in last 8 hours, what you are planning to do in next 8 hours, and do you find any impediment during completion or during achievement of any planned activity. So this is what it is called as daily Scrum or stand up. Scrum team, they have to participate in all the meeting despite their nature, and have to ensure that all the findings of the meetings are getting practically addressed in the project. So imagine you are in a meeting, okay, three of you are in the meeting, you can think of any two more members, okay, and one person in one meeting, either me as a Scrum Master is there, or Prerna is there as a Scrum Master. In front of us, you are giving us the update, okay, in the closed meeting room, if it is physical meeting, and there you are discussing and you are talking about what all the problems you are identifying or whatever the achievement you have done so far, okay. And that is the time when after daily Scrum meeting, I'll invite you all you of you three, and talk about that what was the problem, and every person, or with my experience, or product owner or business analyst is addressing your problem, okay. You are going away with the solution, you are moving back and coming out of the meeting room with the solution. So this is how Scrum team closely works with each other, where Scrum Master is a facilitator and he makes sure that your every question is answered, and you always move with the clarity in detail, okay. He is the person in the gray area, okay. So this is called as stakeholders. Stakeholders are the person, so as it is said that the person whose interest is there in the project is part of stakeholder, okay. Everyone out there who are contributing directly or indirectly are stakeholder. But to talk more or less, generally it is said that clients and sponsors are the critical part of this stakeholder, and that's the reason, because these stakeholders are the ones who are contributing every time through various way in the project. So he has to keep a healthy relationship with the product owner in order to share every detail regarding the project, okay, regarding his project. So say for example, customer is thinking to bring some changes. So do you think is it possible that without getting the information from client end, we will accommodate the change what customer may think and deliver them back? Do you think is it
No.
possible without him communicating?
No.
No. The
No.
answer is no, not at all. So yes, so that's the reason they have to continue to build the relationship with the product owners, so that whatever they are thinking as a change to request, they can request and it can be accommodated and addressed by the product owner. And that's the reason the relationship is very, very and very and very important. The second one says that the stakeholder is responsible for conveying his wishes and concerns the product owner concerns to product owner, uh, or else the product owner would not be responsible for his project quality and time duration. So a stakeholder responsibility, why? Because sometimes they may think that why item is at the highest priority, if we don't deliver it, that may raise a risk, okay, and that risk may happen and can be seen in the already delivered part of a project. So if customer is knowing all those information already, it is their responsibility to convey this back to product owner. Sometime he or she may foresees it, but not every time. But if you as a client, as a part of stakeholder, knows that already, then it is your responsibility as a stakeholder to convey it back to a product owner. He may not take the responsibility of it. And this is one of the example where client is knowing that there can be some certain risk. So that is one part. Third, the stakeholder has to provide regular input to queries from the product owner. And it may happen that frequently, because you guys are together developing some item, you are as a business analyst addressing some concern or some flow of the project or software, and sometimes you may also not know the answer, okay. You may directly go back to product owner and telling them that, hey, because you are communicating with the client, if you don't mind, I just wanted to send this email to the client asking certain question. If you are already sending, can you accommodate this? So it is either you are directly in touch with client, or product owner, who is the one point of contact, can accommodate your request and send back to the client to get some update from them. And it is the responsibility to resolve the query coming from product owner or his team or her team. And prioritizing the work effectively with the product owner is another job, okay, that the stakeholder has to do to ensure his project development, because it is their project, okay. So it is always, just give me a second, guys, just give me a second, I need to plug the power. Okay, can you shout out if you can hear me still?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so
Yes.
much. So yes, I was talking
Yes,
about.
loud and clear.
Thank you so much for the confirmation. So I just came back after plugging the power. So yes, this was very, very important. I was explaining to you that prioritizing the work effectively with the product owner is another job. Product owner may think that, okay, client must need this X item to be delivered at the first, but has customer confirmed it? If he has not, it's also product owner's job to ask, we are planning to deliver this item, so is it okay for you? Otherwise, it's stakeholders' responsibility to tell them, hey, we need this item to be delivered first, because that is the critical area and that is the most important area and most earliest used area, which our client may think of using them at the first. Okay, say for example, there is a big banking project. Okay, in banking project, This is very crucial to transfer the fund. This is very crucial to receive the fund. This is very crucial to do NEFT transaction, or say RTGS transaction, or IMPS transaction, or ACH transaction, or NACH transaction, various transactions. These all are crucial. But client will come back, say, hey, we don't want these all just immediately. First, we want to add customer because this is the critical, and even customer can see their information. Until unless customer data is not loaded, until unless customer is not added, who will the person would do these transaction with? Does it make some sense to you, all of you?
Yes.
Everyone? Yeah, are you all awake with me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much. So this is what stakeholders responsibility is, and keep taking updates or keep giving updates regarding any change in the plans. So it is a two-way communication, right? So it is not always that stakeholders are communicating. Also, product owner has to communicate, and they need to be updated on each other's activity. What is coming, what is anticipated, what is expected. Even product owners are knowing, vendors are knowing, and when client is knowing what to expect as a part of delivery. So this is how it is. Okay, so just now we have seen in the scrum roles. So do you have anything, Prerna, to add over here?
I just want to mention that please understand these roles. Every role is unique. They have their own set of responsibilities. One of the key highlight from this is a Scrum Master is quite closely connected with the team in their day-to-day work. He is mandatorily available in the meetings, present in the meetings, whereas product owner has a very high view, though he is connected, but then his interest are along with the team, are also with the customers, with the senior management, or with other stakeholders. So and he has a more authority, so he might not be always involved in day-to-day activities, but Scrum Master is. And as we earlier discussed, and even Gaurav has highlighted now, please try to understand the concept of stakeholders. So whosoever is having stake or any interest in your project is your stakeholder. So yes, give yourself some time to understand this, and definitely rewatch this video again. So when you re-listen, rewatch, you have a better understanding. So yeah, Gaurav, quite well explained. So nothing more to add from my side. Thank you.
Okay, so soon what we are going to get in details of Scrum event. So thank you so much, Prerna ji, for adding up whatever you have added in Scrum role so far. So yes, by the way, I want you to understand this thing we had explained earlier. So you remember, this is the product backlog. This is something we are planning for the release. Release means smaller piece. Can you see the bread loaf and the thinner slices, thicker slices, and the thickest slices? Can you see that? This,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then the team has come together and they have pulled up few slices over here. Say for example 1, 2, 3, and 4. They decide we will deliver this next. Okay, this has come from this bigger chunk of the list. Okay, do you see this event? This is called as
Yes.
sprint backlog, and the earlier one is called as product backlog before it gets prioritized. And when it gets prioritized, that gets prioritized into sprint planning, where everyone put, hey, I want to work on this slice, I want to work on this slice, I want to work on this slice. Okay, are you able to understand whatever I'm telling this time? Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. And then
Yes.
what happens? This entire thing becomes the task for 1 to 4 weeks. It may be decided by the company or the project that one sprint should be 1 week longer or 4 week long. Based on their decision, they will keep a target to consume or deliver all these smaller chunks to the customer, okay, within a week or within 4 weeks. Okay, this is what it is called as sprint. And while they have planned for 4 weeks or 1 week or 2 week or 3 week, whatever they have agreed upon, every single day they will be meeting over here. On top of it, Everyone will be discussing, hey, what did you do? Sorry, what did I do? What I am planning to do. And in case anything has come up as a problem, so Scrum Master will pitch in and make sure that after this meeting, the problem will be addressed. Okay. And while you have been developing every single piece one by one by one by one, this review will happen along with customer. Okay. The moment customer shows the thumbs up, that should be shipped up. Okay, that should be delivered to customer. And the moment the delivery happens, then they relook what did we do well, what we did not do well as a team. That happens, and that is tagged as a name. As these activity, these communication, and these discussion are called as sprint retrospective. Now I want you to go back and pause this recording 3 minutes ago or 2 minutes ago, and come back listening to these all whatever I have just now shared so far. So this is what you are going to do once you will be listening to this in the recording. So these are the 4 events that we are going to explain in detail. So is it okay so far? Whatever I have said has been registered to you inside your mind. I'm not going ahead explaining this. We'll be explaining this into the next session. So far so good? Everyone with me?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Thank you so
I
much.
have a question.
Yes, please ask.
Um, Product owner, as you said, will there be a specific certification even for the product owner, as
Yes.
how we have for Scrum Master certification?
Yes, exactly. Even for product owners, even for Scrum Master, even for individual development team, there are multiple certifications. So for product owner, generally it is product management certifications are also there, and specific CSPO certifications are there. Okay, so you can go ahead, you can Google it out, and the list which I had shared you in the day 2, that what all the certifications are there, so you can pick a few from there and you can continue. Okay, so there are multiple certification outside of these training are available. They requires your extra attention, they requires you to learn something extra, they requires you to complete certain PDUs, that is certain lessons, and then you register yourself with the organization. It could be Scrum Alliance, or it could be scrum.org, even with PMIs, and you get registered for whatever the certification you choose. So there are n number of certifications available. Okay, and
Another
even when you are linked in, so there are few free certifications are there, so you can complete even them. So yes, Sharda, what is your next
another
question?
question. Can a product owner ever become a Scrum Master, or are they totally different, such that like he can never become a Scrum Master like that? Or
Okay, thank you so much for asking this question, Sharda, and very, very important question. So understand now this. So if you are a Scrum Master and you want to switch your career into product owner, definitely you can. If you are product owner, if you want to switch your career as a Scrum Master, definitely you can, but pay a very close attention. Now, if you are already a Scrum Master and you want to play a role along with being a Scrum Master too as a product owner, it is not advisable, it is not mandatory, and it is really restricted. It should be restricted. If you are a Scrum Master, you must play the role of Scrum Master. However, people are very, very smart. When you will be getting interviewed, people will ask, okay, fine, so you, even if you will be working as a Scrum Master, you need to work as product owner in some area, so will you be able to manage that? To get the job, you may say yes, you may say yes, but you may also showcase your knowledge. So Scrum Master are always restricted as a facilitator for Scrum team, and it is never ever advised to become or take a role of as a Scrum team member or even as a product owner. So it should be against Scrum values. Okay, so because it is Scrum against Scrum values, I don't know about this company whether you are restricted or you are stick with the Scrum values. I would highly encourage every company to follow the Scrum values, but if it becomes the need of hour and you want to, reiterate or reschedule and rediscuss, then we can agree on the discussion. Okay, you don't have to say that you want to play the product owner's role while being a Scrum master, but you will showcase that this is against the Scrum values. But again, company comes back and want to rediscuss on this these items, we can definitely agree and we can definitely get ready to agree upon the decision. Does it make sense to you, Sharda, that he cannot
Yeah,
Yeah.
be the
Gaurav,
product owner, but definitely can switch the career? Yes,
I
Prerna.
just wanted to add this to the explanation, very well explained. But in another scenario, eh, in different project or in different company, if they want to switch their profiles, they can definitely do that. But in the same project, in the same setup, one person has their dedicated role. That is what Gaurav had said. But if tomorrow a Scrum Master feels that he needs to advance his career and work as a product owner, he can get the required certification, get the required training or understanding, and then he can solely work as a product owner in that particular project. So when, as Gaurav was mentioning, how to answer in the interview, we have to ask them clearly that are you asking about the same project or you're asking about role changing within organization, right? So if it is for the same project, Gaurav has aptly mentioned, no, we do not exchange or give additional roles. But yes, for different projects, if the person wants to change their career, they are very well open, but not in the same project, right, Gaurav? Just wanted to add this. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, Sneha, you have some question.
Yes, sir. I want to ask that you said for the certification, like the LinkedIn, they are giving the free certification. So I just wanted to know that the free certification, are they industry certified, or even the non-industry certification is also fine, or it's mandatory? The certification has to be industry certified.
Thank you for asking this question, Sneha. Remember, all the certifications are going to add value to your resume, to your LinkedIn profile as well. Say, for example, a few years back, before 2014, Scrum study was not holding the power into the Scrum world. Okay, now they came up with the various certification like SFC and related to safe certification and all, and they started through LinkedIn and they started becoming a very powerful authority to provide the Scrum certification as well. And they have started getting consideration into the account, and that's how it started picking up its values. So this is very, very important to even consider the non-industry, what you are calling. I don't understand exactly what do you mean. In if it is out of PMI or Scrum study or Scrum Alliance, then still these are the certifications, right? Because you are showcasing your means knowledge through those certificates. So those hold the power. Okay, so definitely that does not go in vain. Did I
Thank
answer
you.
you, Sneha?
Thank you, sir. Yes, I
Yes.
mean, the certain industry, there, like as you said, Scrum Alliance, it's widely known.
Hmm.
When I did some research, while the
Yes.
other, it's the, some company, they don't recognize them. So that's what I said, in industry recognize. Some are widely popular, some are
Yeah.
like
So
no.
even sometime what happens, few certifications are well recognized in the USA, some are in UK, some are just in India, very few are global. Okay, so PMI is the global one, the Project Management Institute. People
Thank you, sir.
also do CSM certification from PMI and as well as Scrum Alliance. You are welcome. Sneha, yes, Sharda, you have something once again to ask?
In the Scrum team, like it is in Scrum team, they have a product owner, a Scrum master, and consisting of 3 to 9 members, as you have said.
Mm-hmm.
So on that, we have went through the principles, and it said that it is self-motivated team.
Mm-hmm.
So does it have like the team manager or someone like that for that team,
It's not
or who is
needed.
considered?
Yeah, it is not needed, it is not required at all. As I said, as you also reiterated again, that is a self-motivated, self-organized team. It does not require. However, Scrum Master becomes the bridge. Product owner may appear like he is the manager, but he is not considered as manager. Okay, appearance may give you some different impression, but don't get carried away, and don't try to include as a part of your answer into the interview question. So does it make sense to you, Sharda, now that
So
they don't have
this
any manager?
the is it's not like the product owner or someone is considered as the manager, but it is just a self-motivated team. That's what.
Yes, that's what, Sharda. Yeah. Yes, Tejaswi, you
Thank you.
have your line.
Yes. Gaurav, I was under the impression that a business analyst is also involved with the client directly in gathering the requirements.
Mhm.
But what is the difference between a business analyst and a product owner then?
Okay, so that's very wonderful question. Thank you for asking. Again, you were under impression, and that was the right impression, that yes, business analysts are required directly into the client requirement gathering, whatever the requirement gathering is happening with clients. So they are directly involved. Product owner is the one who has the complete visibility. Business analyst, he will or she will combine all the bits and pieces together, and they will define the flow. They will get into the system. Product owner does not have to get into the system, into the detail. Okay, he or she does not have to micromanage everything. He has to be top of the entire activity and continue to represent the stakeholders or the client, that how the progress is moving. So his thing is that he ensures or she ensures that whatever we have agreed upon, that is ongoing. He is the central point of contact in terms of project visibility for the client. But as far as this things are concerned, like every single functionality and being updated onto that, and again simplifying and publishing it with the Scrum team, so this job and responsibility is with business analyst. Did I answer
Okay,
you?
thank
Yeah.
you. Yes, it's clear.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Tejaswini. Yes, Sharda, you have one second question. Yes.
I'm sorry for so many
No,
questions.
no, no. That's wonderful.
This Scrum Master, like there was a situation in the team that the Scrum Master was not able to get the proper information from the product owner. So from that situation, does he ever go in direct contact with the client?
Ideally, he should not be, but yeah, he should be pushing up to the product owner. It has to be transparent communication. If a customer is not getting into the details, uh, not getting the complete information from the product owner, he may arrange and may request product owner to go back to client and bring the information. That is number one scenario. Number two scenario, he will or she will push his business analyst and customer together and come up with the meeting details, and he may organize and facilitate one meeting where all those information can be gathered together once again. So Scrum Master role is facilitating the team. So he does not directly go, but yeah, definitely in some scenario product owner may directly say that so person will be doing this activity, or business analyst will be communicating to you, business analyst will be in touch, Scrum Master will just facilitate. If it is online meeting, he will make sure that Zoom licenses are ready, Zoom meeting IDs, password are ready, and has been distributed and communicated with the client, with the BAs, and with the product owner. So in that case, he may be visible to the customer, but not directly. Okay, as far as facilitation is concerned, so that time he will be exposed to the client. Otherwise, always product owner and this guy, what's his name, business analyst, will be exposed. But during facilitation, certainly Scrum Master will also be visible to the customers. Okay, it is not that we have to just keep this person in the veils or something like that. Yes, everyone is known to the customer that who all are the part of this project. Okay, even customer is knowing everything about how things are moving inside, but definitely proactively he does not appeal or approach to their product owner or their entire team of the customer. Yeah. So did I answer you,
So,
Sharda?
if there was a meeting between the product owner, the clients, and everything, like if by chance the Scrum Master want to join, like it is not a no that he shouldn't join, but the Scrum Master can take part in the meeting too. That's
Yeah,
what you're saying, right?
definitely. He has to join. He has to join
Uh,
because he is the facilitator of
yeah.
every single meeting. He has to be part of every single meeting. Okay, so but directly Scrum Master cannot ask the question about the functionality and all that. He himself is just gathering all the requirement, and business analyst is not there, product owner is not there. This scenario will never come across. Okay, so when he is facilitating, when he is there, Scrum Master is there. Of course, the customer has to be there, business analyst has to be there, Scrum team has to be there if it is necessary, and then product owner has to be there. Okay,
Okay.
is it clear now, Sharda?
Yeah, it's clear. It's clear.
Thank you so much. Yes, Tejaswini.
Sorry, one last question.
Mhm.
So we come across different kinds of roles when applying, like, the positions that are open with the clients, they say business analyst or an agile coach or a scrum master. So if a position says need a business and requirement is for a business and analyst with so and so experience, can a scrum master apply for that too, or is it a complete different role?
It's a complete different role. Scrum Master should not apply for a business analyst role.
But agile coach can, right? For the agile coach position.
So Agile coach cannot, because if it is business analyst, you are going to apply
No,
for
no, no,
that
no.
role.
A scrum master can apply for an agile coach.
Yeah, he may if he has the knowledge. Okay, if he is a
Okay.
certified Agile coach and they are looking for some certified Agile coach, definitely he may. Or even Agile
Okay.
coach is there and he wants to take the role of Scrum Master, he may.
So the positions that we are seeing in the group, like, for the business analyst positions, how is it related? Like, how can one go about them? Since our training and everything is going in terms of Scrum Master and excelling in it,
Mhm.
how is business analyst comes into picture?
Okay, so that's a great question. Tejaswini, because you have just joined and we started with the Agile Scrum training, and this is a complete Agile Scrum BA training. 4 weeks you dedicatedly learn only about agility and Scrum framework and all those roles. Okay, and the fifth week is a transition where we get into deeper level and add the details of it, what Sneha and Radha have experienced a bit. Okay, this will be all about business analyst. So there you will get the complete exposure about it. Okay, so the start point for you is Scrum and Agile. Okay.
Got it. Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you so much, Tejaswini. Yes, Sharda. So guys, if you don't have any question, you feel like dropping off, if you are getting late, you may. I will be addressing the quick questions over here, and Prerna will also. So yes, Sharda, go ahead.
So when I was going through some profiles on LinkedIn, I went through some positions like certified Scrum, not certified product owner. So when I saw the licenses and certifications, what they have done, it says the Jira Fundamentals, Scrum Fundamental Certified. So it's also something related to Scrum. So why does they take the position as a product owner? Like that was my question.
No, I did not understand. That's can you come
So
again?
the licenses and certifications for like I went through some profiles in LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
So she was a certified product owner. That was her position headline.
Mm-hmm.
So when I went through the licenses and certifications of what she did,
Mm-hmm.
so it mentioned Scrum Fundamental Certified and
Mm-hmm.
Certified Scrum Product Owner. So
Mm-hmm.
is this a different certification or certified Scrum Product Owner?
So understand, when we are talking about Scrum, and you know the Scrum rules, just now you came to know what all the Scrum rules are available. So everyone wants to evolve, like Sneha or someone was talking about being a agile coach, and I'm not sure whether you were or Tejaswini was.
Yeah,
So
Tejaswini.
okay, so understand, these all are the responsibility and roles, and you really want to enhance your knowledge. You can take a different roles, and it is not hard and fast that you cannot do certain certification. Even if you are Scrum certified Scrum Master, and tomorrow you want to switch your role as a product owner, definitely you have the knowledge, you can go ahead and pick that certification, and tomorrow you can join any company or any another project to become a product owner and start working as that. So there is no harm in doing that. So this is quite natural thing. So it is okay to do various certification and taking a different role, or doing taking enhanced role. So did I understand your question and answered it?
Yeah. Thank
Okay.
you.
You're welcome, Sharda. So any another thing, guys? If not, quickly, I would like to invite Sharda to just talk about one thing which comes in your mind after today's session. Sharda, because I was talking to you.
In today's session, we were talking about the principles of a Scrum. So agile principles and the Scrum roles. So mainly about the stakeholders and product owner.
Okay. So what do you feel like, if one word you want to express, what do you will express? Sharda.
Confusion between product owner and the roles of product owner and Scrum Master is clarified today.
Okay. So clarity is one word for you. Thank you so much, Sharda. So Sharda, call out someone's name on the screen. You see.
Prajakta?
Prajakta, what do you feel like saying, Prajakta, after today's session?
It's like more detail in about the agile and the roles of Scrum Master. It's more
Yes.
clear. Yes.
Okay. Clarity is again another word for you. So Prajakta, call out someone's name on the screen.
Liz.
Okay, Elizabeth. So one word from your end, Elizabeth.
Understanding more the role that everybody plays, the Scrum Master, the stakeholder, the project manager. I was a little bit confused earlier, but now there's more clarity.
Okay, clarity is again for you. Clarity and understanding is the words, are the words. So thank you so much, Elizabeth. Call out someone's name on the screen, please.
Sharada.
Sharda. Yes.
I'm done.
Yeah, she's done. So call out someone's name, someone else's name.
Paracha.
She's also done. She took your name.
Oh my God.
So pay attention then.
Radha?
Okay, Radha, what do you feel like saying?
A detailed explanation of the Agile principles and the Scrum roles.
Okay. Detailed explanation is your word. Thank you so much, Radha. Call out someone's name on the screen, please.
Ruby.
Ruby, what do you feel like saying?
I feel like now we are just going into like the minute, details. So everything is getting more and more like clear, especially like who plays what role.
Yes, Ruby. So minute details are your word. Thank you so much, Ruby. Call out someone's name on the screen, you see.
Prerna.
Yes, Prerna. So we all are done.
Yeah. Thank you,
Sharda,
Ruby.
Prajakta, Elizabeth, and Tejaswini and Radha are done. Yes, Prerna.
Yes. So today's session for me is super interesting and very important because we studied all the rules and details, which are very crucial for our understanding of the further processes about what agile is, and definitely along with that 12 principles. So my regular request to all of you is please rewatch or re-listen to this video while whatever you're doing, traveling, doing any household chore, anything, because when you listen again, you will have a better clarity for sure. So yes, Gaurav, over to you. Thank you for this, superb, interesting session. Yes.
Thank you, Prerna. And yes, I have to say just one thing and request this: complete this. We started the declaration, okay, and then we got into learning. To retain it for a longer, you must go back and draw it. The moment you are done with drawing, you can come back, switch on a camera and start shooting a 2-minute summary where you can show, hey, this is the drawing I have created in the camera you are showing, and I'm going to explain this. Okay. And then you explain it. And the moment you are done with 1 minute or 2 minutes and you feel like you are going to again look at the drawing, just don't look at it, show it into the camera again and say, hey, this is what I am going to explain next, and this is in front of you, and then put it. It should not be like you are alone engaged into the notes. Even your audience or your listener should be engaged into the notes, whatever you are doing. So that is something which brings more authority in you and more visibility for you, for those who are looking at you as a business analyst or a scrum master or a future product owner, whatever it would be. Okay, so this is one thing. And second thing is that please pay a very close attention so that you can come up with the detailed question and get it clarified. Okay. And third thing is that go back and do your own self research. We cannot give you the 14 years of knowledge just in 8 weeks. Okay. So that's the reason self research are very, very important. And remember your core intent to get blessed. Okay, that should be your core intent. So that's all about it from today. And I wish you a very, very further remaining evening. And continue doing your all the assignment. Thank you so much and very, very good night. Bye-bye.
Good
Thank
night.
you.
Bye-bye.
Night.
Take care. Bye-bye. Good night.